What you put into my head made me want to kill myself! Count how many times I called him a bitch, flipped him off, told him he's a little sucker in real life and he's a bitch who acts on the internet. And I'll give you guys, like, put up a thing. I'll throw a party in LA and throw a pizza party for you guys. I'll order that many pizzas in honor of this little bitch. I hope in every single stream for the rest of your life, your audience reminds you how much of a bitch you look like tonight.
I'm sure they will, thank you.
You little biatch! He got OT Genesis tonight. He got Dipset to reunite on stage. He got Wi-Fi's funeral to come on board. I was in DMs with Game, Snoop Dogg, E40, 6ix9ine. Shout out Shotty. I was on FaceTime with Shotty pissing myself. I see Shotty, I get scared. I'm on FaceTime. I'm throwing an event for world peace. I'm scared. Anyways, shout out to my crew. I'll talk about them later. The guy who sold me those Louis Vuittons that I sold was outside the club. These were two girls. I tell them about July 15th. I gave them the energy. They now know. They didn't even know Drake was inside. I said, Drake's inside right now. So I was reaching out to everybody on a personal level. Through this whole process, I've been in conversation with the greats. Lenny S, thank you so much. DJ Khaled's manager. Yes. DJ Khaled Philistine, yo Lord! I was talking to Alfredo Flores, the beautiful Alfredo Flores, who always talks God's scriptures into my heart. Alfredo, I love you. Shout out to Justin Bieber and Haley Baldwin. Whenever anybody hated on them, I realized Justin just realized that his life's purpose is under his wife's feet. So that's why he made Haley his queen. The door opens, they're getting let in. The bouncer goes, girls only. I knew it was happening for a reason, so I didn't even move. I just did this. So yesterday, I go out of my house with the intention of meeting Drake. I run into TMZ. I already start the energy. We go inside the place. We leave the place. We go to this place called Lure. On our way to the place called Lure, I had no idea how I was going to meet Drake. We get to the place. I asked my brother Country, the best friend to my brother, I told him his kid is good for life after this. I told my brother Country, are you sure this is the place? 3 times he said yes.
Wait, finish the story.
I go up, I say I need bottle service. I'm thinking Drake's inside. I'm willing to spend whatever it takes to make my dreams manifest. I pay the $1,000. I'm walking inside, I see it's called Lure. I go, Country, where were we meant to be? He goes, Delilah. I go, Country, this says it's Lure. He goes, fuck. I'm pissed, but I learned that God makes no mistakes. So instead of taking my anger out on Country, I walked away and I stayed quiet. And I said, as your brother, I just need to relax. My boy Andrew.
Yes.
Shout out to Andrew. He's one of the kings of New York. He runs shit with 50 out in New York. We have big players in the game in this, bro.
Some of you may know him as Eminem, but he's going to join the Saturday night crew with our music intro starting next Saturday night. But folks, I want to take you to the world premiere of one of his new videos. news called Berserk. Take a listen.
Yeah, sorry. Live TV. Live TV freaks me out a little bit. Yes, I'm sorry. What was the question? I'm really uncomfortable right now. Okay.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. And there is very grave danger. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its dissenters are silent, not praised. That I do not intend to permit to the extent that it's in my control. But I am asking your help of informing and alerting the American people.
Tell a dream that I had this winter that just passed. I wish I was starting to record my videos before, because I was always told when you have a powerful dream or a vision, it's good to write it down just in case they come to pass, which since I was a young girl, a lot of dreams, or I had visions and they came to pass, and I wish I had the date and date and timed it so I can know that, okay, this is a warning from God. So in the winter, this past winter, I had a dream that I guess I gotten arrested and I went into a jail, but I went to a prison, but it wasn't like a regular prison. And it's so crazy how they have the FEMA camps out now that a lot of people know about, that you can actually Google about it. And when I was there, I was looking around. It did not look like a regular prison. A lot of people were online, and all I kept on hearing was showers, 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 or whatever. And it was a long line, and I guess they was just getting people into it or whatever. But it was really strange.
Got some news for you now. FEMA camp roundup drills in Fort Lauderdale. Well, it is not a hoax. The Sun Sentinel has reported, and now video has surfaced of Special Forces operations taking place under the cover of night in Broward County, Florida. The shocking video shows Black Hawk helicopters flying low and landing as Americans are marched single file through the city streets and then loaded into white vans taken to mock internment camps. Frightening video. Now 200 military personnel from all 4 branches of the military took part in this coordinated drill, the locations of which were not disclosed to the public prior to the urban warfare training exercise. Now the Sentinel is reporting that, quote, the goal is to prepare participants in realistic, unfamiliar training conditions before they deploy for combat overseas. However, concerned citizens are not buying it, and they believe there is a dual purpose for the action, and that is to train soldiers for real-life domestic martial law.
Line, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello, Art?
Yes.
Hi. I don't have a whole lot of time.
Well, look, let's begin by finding out whether you're using this line properly or not.
Area 51.
Yeah, that's right. Were you an employee or are you now?
A former employee.
Former employee.
I was let go on a medical discharge about a week ago, and I've kind of been running across the country. Oh man, I don't know where to start. They're gonna they'll triangulate on this position really soon.
So you can't spend a lot of time on the phone, so give us something quick.
Okay, okay, what we're thinking of as aliens are, they're extra-dimensional beings that an earlier precursor of the space program made contact with. They are not what they claim to be. They have infiltrated a lot of aspects of the military establishment, particularly the Area 51. The disasters that are coming, the military, the government knows about them, and there's a lot of safe areas in this world that they could begin moving the population to now,
But they're not doing anything.
They are not. They want the major population centers wiped out so that the few that are left will be more easily controllable.
Discharge.
I started getting...
and we're on a backup system now.
The government, or?
I don't know.
It has to be something, though.
Well, did you hear? Now you tell me, because you were listening.
That was awful strange.
There was a really weird guy on the air when it went off?
Yeah, real weirded out.
Like, going sort of started sounding paranoid, schizophrenic.
Like crying and everything.
Yeah. And how far into the conversation was it when it went off?
Just a couple, about 15, 20 seconds, I'd say.
Oh, you guys missed, you really missed the call then, and I've got a feeling somebody didn't want you to hear it.
Yeah. Because it was really strange. All of a sudden, I'm hearing Mark Furman, and when
That's right. Well, the network, of course, went immediately to a backup tape while we tried to figure out what blew up here. So that's what you heard happen. And then we're now on a backup link system to be on the air at all right now. So, well, I'm telling you.
Am I on the air right now?
You're on the air right now. Well, you better be, yes.
And
where are you, by the way?
I'm in Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah, I called the other night, and I wanted to ask two things.
Real quick.
Well, I wanted to say one thing, and I wanted to ask another.
Real quick.
I wanted to ask if you could play that remote viewing one when you were while you go to Egypt.
Yes.
And also, I wanted to know all this stuff about like Area 51, if it's like the government's trying to put it out there like that, so like some other place isn't being watched as much.
In other words, it's a big decoy. I see what you're saying here, and apparently we'll be back after the news, I think. Here, we lost all transmit capability on this end. Here in Nevada, the transmitter went belly up suddenly for some unknown reason. I've never seen it do this in all the years that we've been on the air. I have never seen the transmitter in this way just simply fail, massively fail, like a massive heart attack or some kind. And so we have gone to a backup system to get the signal to you right now, and I presume it is getting to you right now. Totally.
Nothing else in the sky. It's like one single cloud just chilling.
Hear incredible roar of the fire. July 4, 2013, I am just below Griffith Peak. The fire is about 1,000 feet below me. It's incredible roar. It's coming fast. I could roll down the hill even faster. It's about 800 feet, so I'm gonna hit the road.
think it's a Dostoevsky quote. He said, "Perhaps it's beauty that will save the earth."
We are creatures here just like all the others. We didn't create them, and we have no right to destroy them. We're losing species today at 1,000 times the rate that species do normally go extinct. We are killing off the rest of the creation.
The thing that's at the heart of our daily lives is the abundance of cheap fossil fuel. That's what's made us rich. The problem is that same fossil fuel is now killing us.
Climate change is no longer just a consequence of the Industrial Revolution. It is a crime against humanity.
I just feel it's unfair that people in the global south has to make all these adaptations when the cause of the problem, the root problem, is in the north.
Nós sabemos que os culpados pelo que hoje está acontecendo no mundo não são os pobres, não são os pequenos agricultores, mas é essa sede capitalista pelo lucro e pelo consumo que é que está destruindo esse mundo.
And the terrible thing about the capitalist mentality is it can't be satisfied. The everlasting competition, the everlasting search for profit is going to pull with it nature, our true foundation, our true being.
Money rules is probably the most simple way to explain it. Money becomes the means through which everything is evaluated.
Mother Earth is crying out for help. We are killing her so people can make a profit.
There is movement building around the world, and what you're seeing is that the movements are connecting. So the environmental movement is connecting to the sustainable food justice movement. The food justice movement is connecting to the women's movement. The women's movement is connecting to the LGBTQ movement. So we just simply cannot look at these problems in silos.
How painful it is, and how many of us survive, and how much of nature survives, all of that depends upon what we do now.
If you want an adventure, boy, what a time to choose to be alive. Don't waste time in self-pity over darkness. Don't waste time trying to figure out better circumstances that you might like. You're born into this, and you're here to love it.
One of the most exciting scientific findings of the past half-century has been the discovery of widespread trophic cascades. A trophic cascade is an ecological process which starts at the top of the food chain and tumbles all the way down to the bottom. We all know that whales eat fish and krill, and some people, certain politicians in Japan for instance, have argued that killing whales is good for human beings, as it boosts the food available for us to eat. And so you would think. But as the great whales declined, so did the numbers of fish and krill. It seems counterintuitive. Surely their numbers would rise as their major predators disappeared. But it now turns out that whales not only eat these animals, they also keep them alive. In fact, they help to sustain the entire living system of the ocean. Whales feed at depth in waters that are often pitch dark, and then they return to the surface, to the photic zone, where there's enough light for photosynthesis to happen. There they release what biologists call fecal plumes, vast outpourings of poo, poonamis. These plumes are rich in iron and nitrogen, nutrients which are often very scarce in the surface waters. And these nutrients fertilize the plant plankton that lives in the only place where plants can survive, the photic zone. Fertilizing the surface waters isn't the only thing the whales do. By plunging up and down through the water column, they also keep kicking the plankton back up into the photic zone, giving it more time to reproduce before it sinks into the abyss. Even today, though whale populations have been greatly reduced, the vertical mixing of water caused by movements of animals up and down through the column of the oceans is astonishingly roughly the same as the amount of mixing caused by all the world's wind and waves and tides. more plant plankton means more animal plankton, on which the larger creatures then feed. In other words, more whales means more fish and krill. But the story doesn't end here, because plant plankton not only feeds the animals of the sea, it also absorbs carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. When eventually it sinks to the ocean floor, it takes this carbon out of circulation down to a place where it remains for thousands of years. The more whales there are, the more plankton there is. The more plankton there is, the more carbon is drawn out of the air. When whales were at their historical populations, before great numbers of them were killed, it seems that they might have been responsible for removing tens of millions of tons of carbon from the atmosphere every year. Whales change the climate. The return of the great whales, if they're allowed to recover, could be seen as a benign form of geoengineering. It could undo some of the damage we've done, both to the living systems of the sea and to the atmosphere.